All right, guys, got another quick one for you. So I was trying to tighten the chain on my Banshee, and I went to take the, I went to actually loosen the two big pinch bolts that hold the carrier solid, and I snapped the lower one. So I'm going to show you guys how I cut it, V'd it. I got another bolt, cut and V'd that, and I'm going to put them together and weld them. All right, so you can see here, the rusted bolt is the original Banshee part. It's structurally sound, it's just a little pitted. So I'm gonna hit it with the wire wheel and grease it up really good before I put it back together. I found another bolt. I made up the length I needed. I cut and V'd both of them. And then what I did was, I have a set of machinist's V-blocks. These two small ones are the same height, and I got this long one here to hold them parallel to each other. I set them down in the V's. I clamped them as best I could. I needed to just shim this one up just a hair to get them, you know, eyeball, parallel, and level with each other. I'm gonna come back now with the MIG welder, try to start back here and just wrap around, giving nice consistent heat, fill it back in, grind it down, and we'll see how it goes. One quick tip I want to show you guys. I just take a little MAP gas and just give the parts just a little bit of heat, kind of gets the moisture out, and it helps the MIG penetrate a little better for something like this. Doesn't have to be super strong or critical, doesn't have to be perfectly straight. You know, it's not a high precision part, but it helps if you just give it a little preheat to get better penetration. All right, I welded it almost all the way around. Now I'm taking a wrench and I'm kind of turning the bolt just a little to get to the underneath. Put one last piece of weld and I'm done. We'll let it cool. One last tip on this stuff, guys. You can't be impatient. Do not take water. Don't even use air. Any type of cooling that you add to this weld right now is going to pull the steel in the direction that you cooled it. So if I throw water on top, it's going to bend up both ends. So I want to leave the jig set up. I don't love transferring all that heat into these V-blocks, but like I said, they're not precision stuff either. I use them for a lot of different things like this all the time. In the future, if I get a little deeper into machining, I might buy a really good set. But for now, this is what I have and this is what I use. All right, so the last step I'm gonna do here, guys, you definitely do not have to do it. I could just hit this with the wire wheel. I took this down with the grinder. You can see, came out pretty good. I just wanna demonstrate to everybody that if you hold it in the V-blocks, weld it around as best you can, but let it just cool in the V-blocks. Don't introduce any outside cooling to it. I'm going to spin this right now, and you're gonna see that for the purposes of what we're doing here, this thing spins pretty good. So for a bolt like this, that is absolutely outstanding. We got full penetration here. We got a brand new thread on the end, and I'm just gonna clean this up with a file. I could go crazy and take a cut with the lathe itself, but it's definitely not needed, and this isn't supported on the end, so the lathe's just gonna push it, it's gonna bend it. If I wanted to get crazy, I could bring in the tailstock, or the turret in this case, drill a center hole, and then bring in a live center to hold it and make a cut. But like I said, a file is going to be fine for this. Alright guys, here's the finished product. I left a little extra threads on the end, and I took a die actually, and I just cut these down a little bit more. Came out pretty nice. I'll probably end up cutting off the threads around here, and just so you see where it goes, it's the lower bolt on a Yamaha Banshee axle carrier. That's it.